She thought gaining sight would show her the world. Instead, it showed her the truth. Here's how it happened. Maya's fingers dug into the hospital bed sheets as the doctor's scissors cut through the final layer of bandages. 16 years of darkness. 16 years of imagining what faces looked like through touch alone. And now, in 3 seconds, everything would change. Keep your eyes closed, Dr. Zhang whispered. When I say open, do it slowly. Maya's father squeezed her hand. She'd memorized every callus on his palm, every ridge of his knuckles. Soon, she'd finally see the face behind the voice that had read her bedtime stories, taught her to navigate their home, promised her the world would make sense someday. Open. Light flooded in. Blurry shapes. Colors she'd only heard described. Then, gradually, a face came into focus. Her father's face. Square jaw. Graying beard. Deep-set eyes. But those eyes. They weren't filled with joy. They were filled with terror. Maya blinked, confused. The fear vanished instantly, replaced by a too-wide smile. Maya. Oh, sweetheart, can you see me? Yes. She reached up, touching his face to match it with what she'd felt 1,000 times. Same nose. Same cheekbones. But that look. She'd seen it. For just 1 second, her father had looked at her like she was a threat. The drive home was quiet. Maya pressed her face against the car window, drinking in trees and sky and clouds. But she kept glancing at her father. His jaw was clenched. His knuckles were white on the steering wheel. Dad? Are you okay? Of course. Too cheerful. Just overwhelmed. This is a miracle, Maya. Their house emerged from the woods, isolated like always. But now Maya could see things she'd never known were there. Bars on the windows. Not decorative. Actual bars. And when they walked inside, she noticed the locks. All of them on the outside of the doors. Why are the locks outside? She asked carefully. Her father froze. Safety. In case of fire. So firefighters can get in. That made no sense. But Maya smiled. Oh. Right. That night, she couldn't sleep. Her new vision showed her shadows and moonlight through her window. She heard her father's footsteps pacing downstairs. Back and forth. Back and forth. Then a phone call, his voice urgent and low. She can see now. Everything changes if she can see. Maya's heart hammered. She slipped out of bed, using her 16 years of memorized steps to move silently. At the top of the stairs, she saw him clearly for the first time. He stood in the living room, phone pressed to his ear, hand raking through his hair. No, she doesn't remember. But if her sight triggers something... He paused. I've kept her safe this long. I'll figure it out. Safe? Safe from what? If you're already hooked, hit that subscribe button because this story is about to get darker. The next morning, Maya pretended everything was normal. Dad, I think my vision's still really blurry. The doctor said it might take weeks to clear up fully. Relief washed over his face. That's normal, sweetheart. Don't push it. I'm going to rest in my room. Good idea. But Maya didn't rest. She waited until she heard him leave for the grocery store, then moved through the house with new purpose. She'd explored every corner blind, but now she could see details. Papers hidden in drawers. A door she'd never known existed, tucked behind the basement stairs. It was locked. But Maya had learned to feel for vibrations, for the tiny clicks of mechanisms. She found a hairpin and worked the lock, her hands shaking. After 5 agonizing minutes, it clicked open. Inside was a small room. No windows. Newspaper clippings covered one wall. Local family perishes in house fire, only daughter, age 4, survives but loses sight in trauma. Maya's breath caught. She stepped closer. Man arrested for arson and triple murder, key witness a child. Another clipping. Suspect released on technicality, witness too traumatized to testify. And another. Missing child case goes cold, Maya Brennan, 4, vanishes from foster care. A photograph was pinned above the articles. A family. A woman with kind eyes. A teenage boy. A baby girl. And a little girl, maybe 4 years old, with pigtails and a gap-toothed smile. The little girl looked exactly like Maya. Her knees buckled. She grabbed the wall for support. These weren't stories. This was her. Maya Brennan. She had a mother. A brother. A sister. They died in a fire. And the man arrested, she found his mugshot stapled to the bottom. It was her father. David Rourke. No. No, no, no. Maya's voice cracked. Her fingers trembled as she pulled down more clippings. Witness described seeing man pour gasoline. 4-year-old Maya Brennan, only survivor, saw attacker's face. She'd seen him. She'd testified. And then he'd been released. And then she'd disappeared. Because he took her. The fire hadn't taken her sight. The trauma had. And he'd kept her blind, isolated, hidden, for 12 years. Waiting for her memories to fade. Making her dependent on him. Making her love him. Maya heard the truck in the driveway. Panic seized her. She shoved the clippings back up, locked the door, raced upstairs. She made it to her room seconds before his footsteps entered the house. Maya? I'm back. She couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. The man who tucked her in at night had murdered her family. The man who taught her to read Braille had stolen her life. Maya? She forced herself to the door, forced a smile. Hey, Dad. He studied her face. Those eyes. Looking for cracks in her performance. You okay? You look pale. Just tired. The vision thing is exhausting. Right. He didn't believe her. She could see it now. Come downstairs. I made your favorite. Chicken soup. They sat at the kitchen table. Maya pushed soup around her bowl, her stomach churning. Every time she looked at him, she saw the mugshot. Saw her mother's face in the photograph. Heard her baby sister's cry in her fragmented memories. You're quiet, he said. My head hurts. Maybe the surgery was too much too soon. He leaned forward. Maya, can you actually see clearly? Or is it still blurry? I test. He was testing her. Still blurry, she lied. Shapes and colors, but faces are fuzzy. He took her hand. The hand that had murdered her family. You tell me if you could see perfectly, right? No secrets between us. Maya met his eyes. No secrets, Dad. He smiled. But it didn't reach his eyes. That night, Maya waited until 2 a.m. She'd packed a small bag with the clippings, her real birth certificate she'd found in the hidden room, and some clothes. Her hands shook as she crept downstairs. The front door was locked from the outside. The back door too. She'd known this, but seeing it made it real. She was a prisoner. The windows. She grabbed a kitchen chair, climbed up to the window above the sink. It was nailed shut, but she could break it. She wrapped her hand in a towel and punched through. Glass shattered. Alarms screamed. Maya. His voice. She didn't look back. She squeezed through the window, cutting her arm on jagged glass, and dropped into the darkness outside. For the first time in 12 years, she was outside at night with vision. Trees loomed. Shadows moved. She ran. Behind her, the front door crashed open. Maya. He knew. He knew she remembered. Comment below what you think happens next. And don't forget to like this video. Maya crashed through the forest, branches whipping her face. She could see the path ahead, but 12 years of blindness meant she'd never learned to navigate by sight. She stumbled, fell, got up, kept running. Maya, stop. Let me explain. His footsteps pounded behind her. Closer. He was faster. Knew the woods better. She veered left, toward where she remembered the road should be. Her lungs burned. Blood dripped from her arm. Then she saw it. Headlights. A car parked on the shoulder, driver's door open. Help! She sprinted toward it. Please help me. The car was empty. Engine still running. She lunged for it, reached inside for the door lock, but hands grabbed her from behind. David spun her around, and in the headlights, she finally saw him clearly. Not as her father. As the monster from her nightmares. You remember, he gasped. You killed them. Maya screamed, shoving him. My mother. My brother. My baby sister. It was an accident. His voice broke. The fire, I just wanted to scare your father, he owed me money, I never meant. You murdered them. And you saw me. You were the only one who saw. Tears streamed down his face. They released me, but I knew you'd testify again when you were older. So I took you. I saved you from the system, Maya. I raised you. I loved you. You kept me blind. She was crying now too, rage and grief colliding. You kept me prisoner. To keep us both safe. He grabbed her shoulders. I gave you everything. 12 years. I was your father. You were my jailer. Sirens wailed in the distance. Maya's hand had found the car's CB radio in her struggle. Someone had heard. David heard them too. His face crumbled. Maya, please. We can run. I'll take you anywhere. We can start over. My name is Maya Brennan. Her voice was steel. And you're going to prison. He looked at her, and for a moment, she saw genuine anguish. Then he lunged, trying to drag her toward the woods. Maya twisted, using every self-defense move he'd ironically taught her for safety. She stomped his instep, elbowed his ribs, broke free. He stumbled backward, toward the cliff edge she could now see dropping off behind him. His arms windmilled. His eyes went wide. Maya's hand shot out instinctively, catching his wrist. For 3 seconds, they froze. Him dangling. Her holding on. She could let go, end it. Justice for her mother, her siblings, her stolen life. Maya. He whispered. Please. Red and blue lights flooded the road. Police cars screeched to a halt. I'm not like you, Maya said. She pulled him up, then stepped back as officers rushed forward. I'm not a murderer. They tackled David to the ground. An officer wrapped a blanket around Maya's shoulders. Are you Maya Brennan? She nodded, the name feeling both foreign and right. I am. And I remember everything. 6 months later, Maya Brennan stood in a cemetery she'd never seen. Her Aunt Rachel held her hand. Cousins she'd just met surrounded her. And before her stood 3 headstones. Mom, she whispered, kneeling before the first. I'm so sorry it took me 12 years to come home. She traced her mother's name. Emma Brennan. Then her brothers. Michael Brennan, age 16. Then the smallest stone. Baby Grace Brennan. I testified yesterday, Maya continued, tears streaming freely. He's never getting out. I made sure of it. I saw him. I remembered. And this time, I didn't look away. The sun broke through the clouds. For the first time since regaining her sight, Maya felt like she was truly seeing. Not just with her eyes, but with her whole self. The girl who'd survived. The girl who'd remembered. The girl who'd chosen mercy but demanded justice. I can see now, Mom, she whispered. Really see. And I'm going to make you proud. Her aunt squeezed her hand. Maya squeezed back. She had a family again. A real one. And she had something David could never take away. The truth.